You are very welcome along, viewers, to Claughaun here in the Childers Road in Limerick City for today's round 5 of the Limerick Senior Hurling Championship, sponsored by Whitebox Developments. Today's game sees the meeting of age-old rivals Piarsaigh and Patrickswell in today's round 5 game. However, it is a game that carries little significance in determining where the Limerick Championship will go. Both teams have their fate decided. Piarsaigh will operate in and play in a county a county semi-final in 3 weeks' time, while Patrickswell are sitting at bottom of the table looking to play in Division 2 of the Senior Championship in 2026. Today's game promises still to have an eager and an edge to it as both teams try and salvage something from their season. For Piarsaigh, they will be without a number of regulars, as too will Patrickswell, who will be trying to stake a claim for later in the championship. It is hot and warm here in Claughaun at the moment, although the showers have been frequent and very, very heavy. Underfoot conditions look a little bit heavy in around both goalmouths, but good and solid around the pitch. It promises to be still a game with an edge to it as city rivals face off from 3:30 here in Claughaun. Please stay with us. It should be a fascinating game. And it is Claughaun that you are tuning into here in Limerick City. The Childers Road venue is resplendent with sunshine at this moment in time, but those clouds overhead are to the right a little bit more darker than they are than the blue to the left. It is going to be a fair titanic battle here between the two city rivals. Both teams, as we said in the pre-match, have of course their fate decided in this year's championship, but still an awful lot to play for here in Claughaun this afternoon. It is a moving Saturday, and there are loads happening in the Limerick Championship today, as there are in all club championships around the country. But Limerick sees busy action right across this weekend, and no better than today and elsewhere. The shape of the knockout stages is taking its shape as we speak in those moments that are ticking on. We have, as we see in the middle of the field, our referee Donico O'Callaghan just out there, and he's meeting with both captains. Nigel Foley, the on-field captain for Patrickswell today, and he is being met by the Piarsaigh captain, that is Jerome Boylan, who wears number 17 and will operate in around the number 6 position. Patrickswell, 20 titles to their name. Their last came in 2019, and the famine will continue for 2025 as their involvement in this year's championship finishes this afternoon. They, of course, are down a number of regulars, which we will go through in a number of moments' time. And again, most importantly, the big news from them is that they will not have the services of Cian Lynch, nor indeed Aaron Gallan, who was also absent from a previous round's defeat. So for Patrickswell, they are looking to their talisman, of course, Dermot Burns, who will anchor their defence from number 6. And up front, they will be very much relying on the experiences of Thomas and Sean O'Brien brothers, and of course Mark Carmody. It is for the Piarsaigh side, who will come without their goalkeeper today, and that is their regular goalkeeper, Shane Dowling, and he has picked up a rib injury, but they will have the experience of Evan Condon between the posts. Again, other changes include the unavailability of Ronan Lynch, and up front, one of the leading scorers in the championship, of course, Kevin Downs, does not line out either this afternoon, and he is replaced by the very much on form Dylan Lynch, a man coming into today's game with 2-5 from play in the Limerick Championship. We look at the Patrickswell team. And it lines out with Jason Gallan in goals. There will be a number of positional changes, but what we have is Kelvin Lynch, Nigel Foley and Owen Harmon, Dermot Burns, James Carrick and Evan Fitzgerald, while up front we will see Jordan Higgins, Liam Fitzgerald, Thomas O'Brien, with Hughie Maher in the corner, Mark Carmody at full forward, and Sean O'Brien will be in the other corner wearing number 26. We have a partnership at midfield of John Murray and Evan Fitzgerald. It's going to be an uphill battle for the Patrickswell men today, who have come into this championship encounter without a win and are looking to get their first one, and very much their form hasn't taken off. They haven't got their rhythm that they've had in previous campaigns. For Piarsaigh, as we mentioned, their team will line out without Shane Dowling. Evan Condon, of course, a county under 21 medal winner, and indeed has much experience in the senior championship between the posts for Piarsaigh, will start in goal. Sean Long, Mike Casey and Vince Harrington in the full back line. Mike Foley, Jerome Boylan comes in wearing number 17 in place of Ronan Lynch at 6, and Tomas Grimes will wear 7. William O'Donoghue and James Finn will partner at midfield, while JJ Carey, Peter Casey and Dahi Dempsey will make up a strong, formidable half-forward line. Replacing Kevin Downs is Dylan Lynch. At top of the right, Will Hinn will be at full forward, and the experience of Adrian Breen, who is in the absolutely great form in this year's championship as well, coming into the knockout stages. He will take his place at 15. We're just moments away, and as I said, our match referee is all the way from West Limerick, from Fiona Castleman Club. That is Donncha O'Callaghan, a very experienced match official. Refereed the county final in 2017, if memory serves me right, between Piarsaigh and Kilmallock. He is, of course, a man who just recently refereed an All-Ireland Intermediate Camogie final up in Croke Park, and carries a lot of experience from being the man in the middle. Piarsaigh will play against the Breeze in this opening half. So from what we can gather here, the Breeze is going from right to left, so that's dressing room end down to the bottom end here in Clohan, and it's going to favour the Patrickswell men first, who are getting one final word of encouragement, led by their management team of Declan O'Grady, Eddie Murphy, Natal O'Grady and Pa Mann, and their S&C coach Justin Daly from Kildimo Palace Kenry. And they are in shot there at the moment, getting their last word of advice as we watch the Patrickswell sideline, who unfortunately today will be out without a number of their regulars. There's Kevin O'Brien and Jack Kelleher among the substitutes. Cian Lynch, of course, there in the white hat as well. And that's a lot of experience there. Aaron Gallan in amongst them as well, supporting his team here this afternoon. But he will, of course, not be featuring in this game because of a hand injury. And we're just about to begin here. We're awaiting Donncha O'Callaghan to throw this ball in, and we have it in, and the game is on, and it looks like JJ Carey from the start has gone to midfield, and the aforementioned is on possession, and he has a free if he wants it, giving it off to the experienced William O'Donoghue, getting attack going here across to the far side. That's the familiar stance of Peter Casey back. That's Will Hinn off his right. Have we the first score of the afternoon? No, we don't. We have the first wide of the afternoon, and it goes to Piarsaigh and to Will Hinn. So interesting to see the length of puck out here that Jason Gallan will get. He is favoured by the Breeze, just to remind you, and we'll look at formation and shape as we go on for the next couple of minutes. It comes into the middle. That is Evan Fitzgerald, and Evan is fancying it with the Breeze. He's putting it high up into the air, dropping down. Have we a flag? No, we don't, and it's gone to the right hand side and wide, so a wide apiece as Evan Condon looks to take his first puck out of the day. And again, just to remind you that the Breeze is significant. It is favouring Patrickswell, and I doubt we'll get through this half without a shower of rain as well, as the ball goes to the far side of the field. Testing one for Dermot Burns, but it's Cian Fitzgerald who runs away. He's got Burns, Breeze at his back. He decides he wants to go. Range is not a problem. Will accuracy be it? No, it won't, and it's the first score of the afternoon, and it's Dermot Burns on 1:20 who opens the account for Patrickswell, and it is they who will draw first blood here, and that is a fine opening score from the Limerick halfback, played to Dahi Dempsey. Good hand from Dempsey as he comes to the ground, off to Will Hinn. Space opening up in front of him. Hinn racing through the heart of the defence. He's reaching the 21. There's real danger here as he pops it outside to Adrian Breen, and there's the first green flag of the evening, and it's Adrian Breen who has got it. A super run from Will Hinn, and he went straight through the middle, popped it to the experience of Breen, and he rattled it past Jason Jason Gallan, and a fabulous score from the Piarsaigh. It is Adrian Breen who gets the opening score, their opening score and their opening goal in this game as the puck out comes long, going a fair distance down, and it's Tomas Grimes, or Tommy Grimes as he's better known, out on the Cardavan side. He pops it off to his friend and colleague Mike Casey back, and it's going to come out to Michael Foley. Nice little box work here from na Piarsaigh as William O'Donoghue looks to bring a short pass out, and that is the frame of JJ Carey, who decides to pop it away to Vince Harrington, up to Peter Casey, but a lovely touch by Dermot Burns there, and this is Thomas O'Brien now trying to make ground as it's played off as far as Jordan Higgins, back to Thomas O'Brien, ground again opening up in front of him, well hooked there, lovely touch, but it gets its way through to Shawnee, the brother Shawnee, but the Piarsaigh and blue jerseys back in numbers, and that looks like Vince Harrington that's tidying that up, but not tidily enough, goes off as far as Evan Fitzgerald, and it's Shawnee O'Brien coming in to gather now. Conditions are tough, and it's Thomas Grimes back to JJ Carey, has time to open up and see what's in front of him, and that's Will Hen that's racing on to this, and good touch by Hen as he moves inside, trying to favour onto his right, but decides on his left he'll clip it back the field. Here's a man in good shooting form, that's David Dempsey, or Dahi Dempsey, and the ball has gone to the right hand side and wide, so wide number 2 from Dahi Dempsey for na Piarsaigh. And that was a good move there, as there was a bit of time. Jason Gallan opting to go short. Back to him it comes from Kelvin Lynch, and it's puck down the far right hand side of the field, and it's only going to be in a Piarsaigh man over there, and that's Sean Long that wins it. Well won by Dahi Dempsey, off to Tommy Grimes, into the middle to Peter Casey. Space and time has Casey, and space and time is all he needs, and Peter Casey finds the range. And that's a fine score from Peter Casey as we play on 4 minutes here. And it's Patrickswell who have registered that first score. But since then it's been all in the Piarsaigh, I can tell you. 1-1-2. 1-1-2 point at the moment as the ball is threaded through to Jordan Higgins. Good touch by JJ Carey, but the Patrickswell man has it as it's blink played forward, and that looks like the frame of Hughie Maher that's in picture, and it's been turned over and turned over well, short and sharp, because it has to be for the Piarsaigh with this breeze behind him. Great touch back in there, and that looks like Owen Harmon that got that, and it's off to Dermot Burns. Burns is opening his shoulders, and again distance will be no problem, but unfortunately it has slipped to the far side and wide. Level on wides now, two wides each. Evan Condon will be in no great hurry with this as we look around and just see who is doing what at the moment. Yeah, as Evan surveys what's ahead of him, and he decides to go down to Thomas Grimes, who's in that advanced position, and the ball is broken away, and it's underfoot there at the moment, and it looks like James Carrick is battling very hard. It's going nowhere. Dunico O'Callaghan is happy, and it's Cian Fitzgerald who breaks past William O'Donoghue, and he has popped this off now, and that looks like a familiar frame of, is it Jack Kelleher? The ball has gone in, but it's gone to the right hand side and wide. That's wide number 3. Indeed, it's not Jack Kelleher. It's Jack Kelleher is not on the field. That's Johnny Murray that took that last shot. Kelleher not lining out today as William O'Donoghue takes this and decides to get the Piarsaigh moving forward, but ball has broken through. There's Dermot Burns in a really good position to play it short. Have we a free? No, we haven't. It's physical in the middle. That's JJ Carey back to Dahi Dempsey, trying maybe to get his inside line away, and there's Adrian Breen being followed by Kelvin Lynch, and Breen is turning this way and that, and this time the man strikes on his left hand side and he puts it straight over the bar, so Adrian Breen adds to his tally, and that is a fine score from the experienced Breen. On his left that time, got the goal on his right just a while ago as Jason Gallan decides to come a little bit shorter, trying to get cousin Jordan Higgins in the game, but the ball slips off the hand of Tomas Grimes as Jordan Higgins looks to get this one quickly into the inside line, but it's gone too far, and that is only Evan Condon that's going to be taking this one out, and Condon coming up this near side of the field, and it's Will Hen who has drifted out. Good tackle from Dermot Burns as he's been followed well by Mark Carmody, offloaded to Mike Foley. Foley is deciding to put this in. This is Peter Casey in a bit of space. He's beaten the 21. Have we a goal chance? We have, and we've got another green flag for the Piarsaigh, and it's Peter Casey who puts it past Jason Gallan in a wonderful move. And well, the Piarsaigh, they mean business here, Against this breeze, Peter Casey has got the second goal of the game, and that is a real tonic for the City men as the Patrickswell decide to work it short, and it's Jordan Higgins who just loses possession. Ball is played across the field, and it's Breen again who's on it. Chance for his third score of the day. Adrian Breen doesn't make any mistakes from there. That's a fine score from Adrian Breen, and it is the Piarsaigh who are opening up an early advantage here. Fine score from Breen as he moved in there. And it's 2-2 to a point, as we can see from our screen at the moment. And it's Patrickswell playing against, or with the breeze in this opening half. And the Piarsaigh playing against it as the ball is not so good from Tommy Grimes. And Sean Long does enough, gets a little touch on it there, and it goes out for a 65. And that's going to be a favoured respite for Patrickswell. And that was good work there from looks like Mark Carmody, who's operating deep in that line today. And or would imagine that Dermot Burns will be stepping forward for this. He is indeed. And we've played 7 minutes, and it's been a brilliant opening salvo for the 2023 champions. Of course, the Piarsaigh beaten in the final last year by Doon in a pulsating game that went right to the last few moments. And it was the Doon men who claimed victory on a famous night in Limerick. And, well, there is no doubt that the Piarsaigh haven't gone away as Dermot Burns looks to strike this one in and over the bar, and Dermot Burns will duly oblige. That is a fine score from Dermot Burns. And that's the first opening score from a 65, and he gives Patrickswell some sort of a reprieve there in terms of the scoreboard as the puck out comes to Dahi Dempsey, and it's Cian Lynch Cian Fitzgerald I should say, who's going to pick up the pieces. His pass though only finds the hand of the experienced William O'Donoghue as he spoons this off as far as Michael Casey into the middle here. Thomas Grimes, first time hurling, just lashes it up there. It's anybody's ball, and it's Adrian Breen who's broken it down. There's another chance here, is there? It's been whipped away, and whipped away well there by Nigel Foley as Dermot Burns comes into it, goes to his favourite right side here, finding Mark Carmody, and Carmody going back to Thomas O'Brien here. Three Piarsaigh men, but he does really well, looking to work it across the field, and that he does, trying to find Shawnee O'Brien, and it's Sean Long who is chasing after him, and O'Brien is going to get there. Is there a free four coming? There is not, but O'Brien has broken the ground, has a chance to score. He touches it in and touches it into the back of the net. And that looks like Liam Fitzgerald who has got in there and got the final touch as Shawnee O'Brien broke around Sean Long, popped it off, and a lovely touch from the youngster Liam Fitzgerald puts the ball in the back of the net. And that's Patrickswell's fine score in a couple of moments, and they could have done with that, I can tell you. They needed that to keep themselves in the game, and a really well worked move, one of their few balls to the inside line that have gotten the opening minutes, and there is danger in there if they can move it in there a little bit quicker as we play with Evan Fitzgerald here, out to Kelvin Lynch, back to Cian Fitzgerald, back to Dermot Burns now, and Patrickswell just trying to make a little bit of room. Ball is played long, but it's Sean Long who's on his own. His familiar red helmet sticks out in the sunshine here in Claughaun as the ball is played down the far side of the field, and Will Hen offering plenty of company there for James Carrick as the ball is played to Cian Fitzgerald, looking to come out, but possession is lost, and Fitzgerald gets it back at the second attempt. This is good. This is John Murray now looking to put the ball across and into the Piarsaigh full back line, but a lovely touch from Vince Harrington as he's going to put Michael Casey onto the midfield line as ball is swung in and across the field, and trying to find Adrian Breen, but getting back well there is James Carrick. Back to on-field captain Nigel Foley for today. Foley giving it back out, and that looks like Kelvin Lynch, and Jason Gallan has come from the goal. He's about 21 yards out now. He's going to put it down here in front of Liam Fitzgerald, and the ball breaks away from the youngster's hands as Jerome Boylan was there for company. Mopping up is William O'Donoghue, taking that familiar deep position as the ball is swung up, broken away, and this is Dermot Burns now. Ooh, Burns blocked down by William Hen, and good block by the forward there as the Piarsaigh rear, or the Piarsaigh forward line furry in to try and win it back, and it's Peter Casey who has it, lofting it high. It's going to be held in the breeze. It's dangerously dropping in. Oh, that's a super hand there, and that's Hughie Maher that wins it. Really good hand from the Patrickswell youngster Johnny Murray. Talking about a youngster, here's another one having a fine second season for Patrickswell as he gives it back back to Evan Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald going long, but unfortunately that is going to the right hand side and wide. Wide number 4 for Patrickswell. As we get a break, we won't. It's back out. This is JJ Carey here. Well hooked by John Murray. Does enough, but it's Dahi Dempsey who picks up the pieces, and Dempsey has clipped it in and clipped it over the bar. And again, Dahi Dempsey has been instrumental there, finding himself in a good position as the Piarsaigh extend their advantage out to 5 points. Options for Jason Gallan here, coming down to our commentary position, finding Mark Carmody, breaks away from his hand. Good window by the Patrickswell man as he races forward. Is there a free forthcoming? No, there isn't. William O'Donoghue stands over him. He even thought there was something happening there. As Sean Long wins this one back, and it's Cian Fitzgerald trying to cover ground. Dahi Dempsey has it in his hand. He's got time. Mike Foley is looking for it, but he decides to put through Wayne Kearns, and Kearns shoots. And Kearns' shot goes to the right hand side and wide. So Wayne Kearns in the opening exchanges there as we play nearly 13 minutes here. Trying to get the Piarsaigh moving forward there. So Wayne Kearns wears 23 as we watch play on the far side of the field, trying to thread it through to Shawnee O'Brien. O'Brien off his left, trying to get Cian or Evan Fitzgerald away, but pass was ambitious. Sean O'Brien, of course, a man who played so many years at the other end of the field for Patrickswell, and he really was a tigerish and tough cornerback and speedy cornerback in his time back in that part of the field. Maybe he'll be there again, but for today he's at the far side, and he's set up that last goal and set it up really well for Patrickswell as we watch Dermot Burns to Cian Fitzgerald, switching play across the field, and good hand, and it's to his brother Liam. Liam getting John Murray onto it now, recovers well. Murray trying to make ground, and he's got a free, but he's been played with advantage. JJ Carey is inside. This is Cian Fitz. Have we a goal on? We have a goal on. We've goal number 2 for Patrickswell, and that is Evan Fitzgerald, who got inside, and he has been very industrious in the opening 14 minutes here, and he was set away well by Liam Fitzgerald as he slotted it past Evan Condon in the goal, and that is another great lifeline for Patrickswell, who slimmed the gap back here, and it's Cian Fitz who has got it. As we watch the ball in the middle of the field now, and it's William O'Donoghue trying to put it inside, getting Adrian Breen on. Have we a response? Breen on his right, got the goal off of that one a while ago, and Breen, well, he's a dab hand at it, and immediately we see a 2-point goal. So that goal from Patrickswell being wiped out almost within the next play by another score from the Piarsaigh. Not fully wiped out, but a score taken away from it. So it's keenly contested in the opening 15 minutes of the game, and it's here's one we haven't seen. It's coming long, but a touch away there from Vince Harrington, and the Piarsaigh just having things under control, but that's really good work from the Patrickswell forwards, and that looks like Jordan Higgins. Hand pass back, no calls for a line ball. It wasn't happening. Aaron Gallan is there looking to see can he win something for his team in terms of influencing a decision, but these rear guard and Kelvin Lynch and Dermot Burns and now Jason Gallan have this under control. Gallan might have range if he gets out enough of the field here. He's just inside his own 45. He's fancying it, he's going at it, but it's going to beat everybody, including Liam Fitzgerald, and it's going to be the 5th wide of the afternoon for Patrickswell. And again, maybe there is something a little bit on there. Gallan has a fair puck of a ball if he can venture out just a little bit more, but I'm sure the Piarsaigh management in front of us here will be watching that and telling their inside line, make sure he doesn't get that run out. But he has the range, definitely has a big puck of a ball, as we see Declan O'Grady trying to give instructions to his inside line. That's Sean Long shifting it up here in front of us, and he's going direct now, but again, it's only Kelvin Lynch that's back there, and Kelvin rock solid in defence. Spent a few years out of the team with a nasty knee injury, but he has recovered really well and has had a fine championship so far for Patrickswell. As we watch Mark Carmody moving the ball into the middle, touching off of William O'Donoghue, who has advantage. O'Donoghue strike on the left. He was going for a score, but he just didn't get it, and it's been called back, and it's been called back for a free right in the middle of the field here, and that is going to be for the Piarsaigh as we watch Will Hen walk his way out here. It will be the first opportunity for Hen to score. And well, he has the breeze against him as he's trying to line this one up. This would put Piarsaigh on 2 goals and 6 if you were to get it, and just tighten or widen the gap, I should say, a little bit more. Hen, an accomplished player who has won a number of titles with Piarsaigh and been one of their mainstays and their forwards over the last while. And Will Hen doesn't make any mistake from that, I can tell you, because the angle was right in front, it was straight down, and even into the teeth of that breeze he was able to get his range, which is important, as Patrickswell goes short, and that looks like Nigel Foley trying to get the ball across the field here, and that's Hughie Maher living with a lot to do as it breaks away, but foul coming there, and it's John Murray who has been penalised. And well, wasn't a whole lot in it, but maybe there was a bit of a pullback, said Donncha O'Callaghan, and it's, as you were in the last play, it's William Hen coming again, a little bit closer to the goal, but more to the right on this one, suiting a right-handed free taker here in terms of the angle, getting himself lined up. As we see, the blue sky has dissipated here, and we're left with grey and white and darker clouds. We could have a shower. Maybe not before the half ends, but I would say sometime early in the second half, as Will Hen nonchalantly knocks that one over the bar. And on 18.5 minutes, we have Piarsaigh well in control of this one. They're 2-7 to 2-2 up, and it's Patrickswell just trying to get out of their own half now. It's Nigel Foley back to Jason Gallan, ground in front of him, but he's going this near side to Hughie Maher. Lovely bounce pass down the line in front to indeed that was Hughie Maher. The ball was played out there, I think, by Owen Harmon, and it's Maher who wins the sideline here. And last touch was with Mike Casey. Fine cut from Hughie Maher, goes down the line in front of us, and battling hard is Liam Fitzgerald, but there's a lot of blue jerseys. One of those is Michael Casey. JJ Carey off on this near side. There's a man that's having a fine game. That's number 23, Wayne Kearns, and it's back to him again. Chance to get on the score sheet, favouring on his right side, and that's a fine score from Wayne Kearns. Okay, and that's from my calculation, that's their 4th in a row. So Wayne Kearns giving and getting, and that's a fine score from him as he raced in the right hand flank, and there's nothing Jason Gallan could do there, and he just watched that come away as we are down that right flank again, and it's cleared high and long up the field, and Liam Fitzgerald has been fouled by Vince Harrington as Harrington walks away in disgust, and Aaron Gallan in straight away to the youngster. Well, what a man to be getting water and advice from. Kevin O'Brien there just to the left of him as we watch Liam Fitzgerald going to take that. Of course, Natal O'Grady, Eddie Murphy, the coaches with Patrickswell this year, as Liam Fitzgerald looks to take this and clip it in and put it over the crossbar, and that's a fine score from Liam Fitzgerald, as again he would be deputising for the man we saw just a couple of moments ago. That is, of course, Aaron Gallan, who is not part of this squad at the moment due to a nasty hand injury, and indeed one he is recovering from, but recovering well. And this is Jerome Boylan in picture, back to Sean Long in, of course, today for Emmett McAvoy, coming right across the field here, and this is Vince Harrington, who is moving forward, and Vince coming down the straight line here in front of us, trying to get Will Hen on the ball, but well shepherded there by Keane Fitzgerald, and it's Hen who has it, trying to come back out the field, but Patrickswell intercept, and it looks like Mark Carmody who's on possession, and Carmody operating far away from that number 15 part that he has in his back, and he clears it down here, but it's Harrington out to Michael Casey as Piarsaigh look to build an attack again. Here's William O'Donoghue, Thomas O'Brien in front, and well, it was enough. Mike Foley was the intended target, ball going off his hand, and we see Shane O'Neill here encouraging his team on. A really experienced manager, not alone of course with his club Piarsaigh, but also at inter-county level, and indeed looking to win back the Daily Cup for the Cardavan outfit this year, and well, who'd bet against them at the moment? It's certainly they're in a good vein of form, as this is watching William O'Donoghue on the attack. He's got Peter Casey off the shoulder. It's been followed there. Casey's coming through. He's gone right through, and that's a big tackle from Kelvin Lynch. And let's just see what happens here. As we have Kelvin Lynch came across, there was an advancing Peter Casey and got across his line. We're going to see what Donegal O'Callaghan will do. I imagine there'll be a card of some colour, as well, the potency of that Piarsaigh attack, you know, when they start to run, they are a very, very formidable outfit, and that's a yellow for Kelvin. And being a cornerback of little experience in this level, but knowing that well, sometimes you just got to stand your ground there, and Peter Casey hopefully won't feel the effects of it too much, as it gives Will Hen another chance to put this ball over the bar. And Peter Casey having a fine influence in this game as well, let me tell you, as Hen looking to extend the advantage, and that's exactly what he does. Fine score from Will Hen, and pushes out the advantage once more to 6 here on the Children's Road. So Jason Galan, not for the first time this afternoon, will be facing the breeze in the second half, so may not have this option as it breaks across, and Donegal O'Callaghan has spotted. He has spotted that Piarsaigh, somebody played a hurley there, and that's going to be a free in. And I think he's happy enough to say that somebody played a hurley, and it's going to be a free to Patrickswell. Liam Fitzgerald is going to have this opportunity. So Fitzgerald, in the style of Aaron Gillane, takes it and looking to keep his side in touch, and that's good from our vantage point as it goes high and up into the air. And Liam Fitzgerald gets the 4th point of the afternoon for Patrickswell, and that's from a free ball. And it's going to go short here, and has. Sean Long has received it from Evan Condon. Pressure incoming. The free taker is just on it, but it's Vince Harrington who has moved out to Wayne Kearns. Back to Harrington again. We're beyond halfway as he hits this ball inside to Adrian Breen. Pass off to Mike Foley on his favoured left. Foley gets it in and hits it over the crossbar, and we hear the calls of well worked here from the Piarsaigh sideline. And that's a fine score from Mike Foley, his first of the afternoon. And indeed, it is his right side, it is his favourite. That is his least favourite side from memory. And fine score for him. I'm sure he'll like that one going into the semi-final. The puck out is advanced, and it's with Cian Fitzgerald, or it's back to Evan Fitzgerald, I should say. But Evan and Cian here, but they're no relation. That ball is pucked right in, and have we a score? We have a very well. I'm trying to look at it here in the replay, and for me that's Hughie Marr that's striking there, and I even lost it in the sunshine, I can tell you. And it's Donegal O'Callaghan going to go in there to his umpires. I don't envy him their job. They're looking right into the sun, and Hughie Marr again, he did well. Can we see it? Yeah, I think that might be inside that post, but again, that's me only on my own here having a look at that. We'll await the official decision from Donegal O'Callaghan and his umpires. And I think going for the book means that it's going to be a score, and it's going to have a flag, and that's Hughie Maher, who has got Patrickswell's next score in the game. Now that's a fine one from the youngster. Used the benefit of the breeze and swung it in well. As we watch Evan Condon coming to survey everything that's in front of him, and he hits it short to Jerome Boylan. Boylan in today for Ronan Lynch, and again a player of huge experience, of course, on the Limerick senior hurling panel, Limerick underage star. But here's another good star, and that is John Murray, and Murray is now returning and advancing towards the Piarsaigh goal, touched away by Thomas Grimes. A lot of blue jerseys around, and it's JJ Carey who's back there to take it up, and it's advanced here is Mike Foley. Lovely ball from William O'Donoghue. Foley's going to strike it in and strike it over the crossbar, and that's the second score of this afternoon for Mike Foley. And again, there was a real good position for Patrickswell, and they just lost possession as punished well by Mike Foley and his Piarsaigh teammates. Thomas Grimes trying to take that ball out of the air. tipped off to Dahi Dempsey, who had a busy opening 10 minutes here, I can tell you, involved in a lot of play. Here's Thomas O'Brien off to brother Shawnee. Could be a chance of another score for Patrickswell, but well closed down by William O'Donoghue. And it's to Sean Long, to Michael Casey, to Tommy Grimes. Grimes not going to get it wide, he's going to put it up all the way, contested by Jason Galan and well won by the Patrickswell number 1, and he shovels that ball away as we watch. Obviously, I think Nigel Foley clear it. Here's Dermot Burns coming long, being chased by Will Hen, trying to get back into that inside. Good ball out to Jordan Higgins. Higgins back into Mark Carmody. Beautiful touch from Carmody as we watch Dermot Burns swing it in and swing it over the crossbar. That is a lovely score from Dermot Burns, made by Jordan Higgins and Mark Carmody, and Burns keeps Patrickswell in touch as we play almost the ending of this half as the ball comes down in front. Well won by Wayne Kearns. Back to Mike Foley. Is it his 3rd score of the day? We look across. No, it is not. It's Na Piarsaig's 4th wide, and Dermot Burns making it 2-11 to 2-7 as the ball is pucked out, but unfortunately a little bit too long out over the sideline here. Just that's the 65-yard flag you're looking at there. Mike Foley has come back to take this one, and it's going to be a chance for Mike to turn defence into attack here as he's from the edge of his own defence. Ooh, going short. Have we enough ground? We have, since Donegal O'Callaghan. Back to William O'Donoghue, back to Sean Long, and Long is looking to advance out. A lot of Patrickswell bodies there, but good work. Back to JJ Carey, to Michael Casey, and he's getting it inside and trying to find his inside line in there, and that looks like Dylan Lynch, but being battled hard in there. I think Dermot Burns and Dahi Dempsey are just getting to know each other at the moment as the ball returns to them, as they were still having their Barney, and it's Na Piarsaigh who are in a solitary good position here, but they've won the free, and I don't think Dermot Burns is going to leave that alone with Dahi Dempsey. And well, temper's been flared here, as Dermot Burns and Dahi Dempsey, of course, would know each other as teammates and as team rivals in the club championship for well on the last 10 years. Both are very experienced players now in their own right. And it's going to be a free to Na Piarsaigh here. And that's the end result, as we think that Donegal Callan is talking to Nigel Foley. Maybe he's just saying, Nigel, you're the captain here. Just calm these boys down just a little bit, as he's going to call Dermot Burns over. And a lot of talking going on from Nigel Foley and a lot of pleading, and we just wonder what Donegal will do here, as again he explains to both players the process that's going on, and we imagine there'll be a card here. Dermot Burns playing at 6 today, operating at 6, and of course wearing number 5, and indeed it is a yellow card for Dermot for his interaction there with Dahi Dempsey, and of course all referee much closer to the action than we are. That's 2 yellow cards now for the rear guard of Patrickswell, Kelvin Lynch and Dermot Burns, both on yellows at the moment. But you know, the game has been played in a really good spirit, as we watch Will Hen strike this in and strike it over the bar. Fine score from Will Hen, and he extends the Na Piarsaigh advantage, as we're right on half time here, and we shouldn't have too much injury time. One last chance maybe for the Well to offer something up and maybe get a green flag, as the ball is played in by and it looked like Sean Long got the touch, and that should have been a free, I would say, as well it's still alive in there, and it's Shawnee O'Brien who has it now. It's Jordan Higgins who is still down, tries to get it inside to Liam Fitzgerald, but a lot of blue bodies back there, and one of those is Thomas Grimes, and the other Thomas is in. That's Thomas O'Brien, but it's Jerome Boylan tidying up with Vince Harrington, as we're going to probably see Dahi Dempsey coming in. No, it's not. It's Adrian Breen. With him for company is James Carrick, as the ball is hit in by Adrian Breen, but it's hit to the right hand side and wide. Both teams now level on wides. Both have 5 each. Peter Casey having a word here with Donegal O'Callaghan. Not quite sure what's being said, as we look down the field, and it looks like players are receiving treatment. That's Jordan Higgins receiving some treatment at the moment. And well, we're just awaiting to see what might happen. That's Tal O'Grady, the Patrickswell coach there. Mark Carmody also been spoken to some way by Donncha O'Callaghan. Not sure what's going to happen. Is it going to be a Patrickswell puck out? It is. And as we said, we're 1.5 in here now. There won't be a whole lot more than this to play, but just a lot of settling down to be done at the moment as the ball comes to cornerback Owen Harmon, but he's been swallowed up there by and that's just Thomas O'Brien and Peter Casey coming together. And is this going to kick off a little bit here? So a lot of encouragement there, and I think Peter Casey just over the ball there as Thomas O'Brien was coming back to try and get it off him. And well, you know, full blood. We are in the championship. Hopefully there's nothing too serious here for Peter as we just watch that replay again. As he was going over the ball, we see Thomas advancing. Ooh, and the leg just making contact there. Hopefully Peter Casey is, well, he is moving and moving fine. We can see him getting up there in shot. So this is going to continue here. And it looks like we have seen a red card. And that is a red card, I would think, to Thomas O'Brien. So we're just awaiting to see what is going to happen here. Thomas in shot with the man that he collided with, and that was Peter Casey. And Thomas O'Brien just walking off the field here, and Donncha O'Callaghan again settling things down in there at the moment. So Patrickswell will play the second half with 14 men. So again, we're watching Donncha having a word. That's Paul O'Grady over there at that far side. The Piarsaigh have a free, and that's possibly how the half is going to end. And it's Will Hen who has the opportunity to put this over. He's scored just a couple of moments ago, and it's going to be an extension, I would imagine, of the scoreline here in Claughaun, and it goes in and it goes over the crossbar. And Donncha O'Callaghan tells us that he has had enough, and we have seen all the action that we're going to see in this first half here. A first half that saw a blistering start from the Piarsaigh, the beaten county finalists last year. We saw goals within the opening 7 minutes from Adrian Breen and Peter Casey, putting them into a commanding 2-2 to 1 point lead. It was Patrickswell who were favoured with the breeze in that opening first half, and they very much remained under the cosh from the opening minute when they took the lead, when Dermot Burns got their opening score. But from then, it's been very much the story of the men in Sky Blues. There was a brilliant goal by Liam Fitzgerald after he was put through superbly by Shawnee O'Brien. That came midway through the half. But it was too little, it was a fine score, but just didn't get enough of those scores in that first half for did the Patrickswell man. Evan Fitz did get a second goal for Patrickswell, and we were looking at 2-4 to 2-2 at that stage. But really, the scoring proficiency up front of Will Hen, Mike Foley, Wayne Kearns and Adrian Breen have really put daylight between these teams. And the final moments of that half, Patrickswell have lost a key player in Thomas O'Brien to a straight red card. So at half time here in Claughaun, with the breeze to come, it is Piarsaigh 2 goals and 13, Patrickswell 2 goals and 7. Join us for the second half coverage in a number of moments. Dermot Burns, but it's Cian Fitzgerald who runs away. He's got Burns, breeze at his back. He decides he wants to go. Range is not a problem. Will accuracy from Dempsey as he comes to the ground. Off to Will Hen. Space opening up in front of him. Hen racing through the heart of the defence. He's reaching the 21. There's real danger here as he pops it outside to Adrian Breen, and there's the first green flag of the evening. Grimes into the middle to Peter Casey. Space and time has Casey, and space Kelvin Lynch, and Breen is turning this way and that, and this time the man Condon coming up this near side of the field, and it's Will Hen who has drifted out. Good tackle from David Burns as he's been followed well by Mark Carmody. Offloaded to Mike Foley. Foley is deciding to put this in. This is Peter Casey in a bit of space. He's beaten the 21 of Have we a goal chance? We have! Breen again, who's on it. Chance for his third score of the day. Adrian Breen doesn't make it. As Dermot Burns looks to strike this one in and over the bar, and a Piarsaigh man, but he does really well, looking to work it across the field, and that he does, trying to find Sean O'Brien, and it's Sean Long who is chasing after him, and O'Brien is going to get there. Is there a free four coming? There is not, but O'Brien has broken the ground, has a chance to score, he touches it in. John Murray does enough, but it's Dahi Dempsey who picks up the pieces, and Dempsey has clipped it in. Good hand, and it's to his brother Liam getting John Murray onto it now, recovers well. Murray trying to make ground, and he's got a free, but he's been played with advantage. JJ Carey is inside. This is Cian Fitz. Have we a goal on? We have a goal on. We've goal number 2. Trying to put it inside, getting Adrian Breen on. Have we a response? Breen on his right. Got the goal. Piarsaigh being one of their mainstays in their forwards over the last while, and Will Fins, but I would say sometime early in the second half as Will Hen non-turns, and it's back to him again. Chance to get on the score sheet, favouring on his right side as Liam Fitzgerald looks to take this and clip it in and put it, you know, when they start to run, they are a very, very formidable outfit, and as I tell you, as Hen looking to extend it and looking to keep his side in touch, and that's good from our vantage point. As it goes off to Mike Foley on his favoured left. Foley gets it in and hits it. But Evan and Keane here, but they're no relation. That ball is pucked right in, and have we lovely ball from William O'Donoghue. Foley's going to strike it in and strike it over the crossbar. Good ball out to Jordan Higgins. Higgins back into Mark Carmody. Beautiful touch from Carmody as we watch Dermot Burns swing it in at 6, and of course wearing number 5, and indeed it is a yellow card. But, you know, the game has been played in a really good spirit as we watch Will Hen. Moment as the ball comes to cornerback Owen Harmon, but he's been swallowed up there by, and that's just an extension, I would imagine, of the score. And we're just about to go here for the second half. The only news that we have for you is there's a slight amendment in the scoreboard, and it's 2 goals and 6 to Patrickswell, who we had credited for 1 extra, as had the scorekeeper here in the Piarsaigh. So it's the referee has confirmed that it's Patrickswell 2 goals and 6 to the Piarsaig's 2 goal and 13. I can also tell you that there is one change on the Piarsaigh lineout. That is Emmett McAvoy, who has come in place of Vince Harrington. So Emmett McAvoy coming in place of Vince Harrington. It is second half underway as Johnny Murray gets us moving forward here, and it's trying to find Mark Carmody and the freshman in there. Emmett McAvoy gets straight into possession, putting it down the field. Remember, the Blues, light Blues, playing with the breeze in the second half. It's Will Hen trying to clip this with his left across the field, and it's going to be Adrian Breen to get his 4th point of the day. No, it's not. It's actually come off the upright, and well, Jason Gallan was a little bit surprised, felt that it was going to be there, and Gallan has fallen in this one. The underfoot conditions are quite poor here as Gallan loses it comes across, and somehow Patrickswell have rescued the situation. So a number of things happening there in the opening 30 seconds of the game, but one thing that's really good to see is that Dermot Burns coming forward. Has he got a chance to bring it all the way and have a white flag in the opening minute? No, we don't. It goes to the right hand side and wide. So wide number 6 for Patrickswell now. Both teams level on wides at half time as Evan Condit pucks this one back out to Sean Long, far side of the field, trying to get one of his inside forwards away. Dylan Lynch, a man we haven't seen much of, but he leaves it run to Adrian Breen, and Breen puts that one across the face of the goal. Wide number 7. Wide number 6, I should say, for the Piarsaigh. Again, level on wides, but not on the score sheet. Trying to find Liam Fitzgerald is Jason Gallan. The youngster does well, getting it down to himself. Being swallowed up by a heap of the Piarsaigh bodies as the ball is tried to be moved forward there, and it's no free forthcoming as Wayne Kearns turns this one inside. It looks like Kelvin Lynch that's going to hoover this up, and he does really well to Dermot Burns, but coming quick is Will Hen. Burns puts on the skids, and he moves forward really well. Jordan back to Keane, and Keane takes the shot. It goes across the face of the goal, and that looks like it's going to the right hand side and wide. So white ball there for Keane Fitzgerald as we wait the puck out to come. And it's coming to the far side of the field, and that looks like Jerome Boylan that's coming out with that one, and it is. And Boylan is going to get it down the far side of the field, and it's gone out over the line at the far side. So it's going to be a sideline cut to the Patrickswell men, and it's Patrickswell who are waiting to line this one up and to get themselves out of dodge here. They're in the inside their own half, and it's Nigel Foley. It looks like the frame of at the far side of the field, and Foley gets a super cut on that one and really gets some length into it as Jerome Boylan tries to address it, but it's Sean O'Brien who has got there first. Remember, Patrickswell operating with a man down here in this second half, and are really under pressure at this moment in time as the Wayne Kearns is in over there, but it's somehow it's the Piarsaigh man who gets it, and he's lost his helmet, and that looks like Jerome Boylan that has lost his helmet, and it is Jerome Boylan who's lost his helmet. So referee Dunico Callahan, will he throw this ball in? He might do. I remember players cannot play while they have while the helmets are off. What a really good rule that is, and you know, seen so much improved in safety since the helmet rule was brought in a number of years ago, as Mike Foley tries to take this one down the narrow path down that sideline. He's made particularly good ground. He's getting past the 21. He's got 2 to his name. He's going to put it backwards, and it's Wayne looking for his second one of the day, and Kearns does it with relative ease. That is Wayne Kearns with his second point of the afternoon, and putting the Piarsaigh well back in control. Not that they haven't been. That's their 14th point of the afternoon to Patrickswell 6th, and it's Wayne Kearns' second of the day, as we see Dermot Burns fouled on that puck out as it came to him. So again, it's going to be a chance for Burns to slow this thing down just a little bit. Scores in that first half, of course, Burns did manage to get 3. One of those from a 65, 2 from play, had the breeze at his back. Other scorers for Patrickswell, Hughie Maher with a point, Liam Fitzgerald with a goal and 2, Evan Fitz with a goal, and that was their total in the first half. Adrian Breen looking really prominent on the Piarsaigh side with a goal and 3, and not too far away Will Hen on 5 as Dermot Barnes hits this one, and yeah, we waited for it. A fine score from Dermot Barnes, and well, he has that in his armoury, not just for Patrickswell but also for Limerick, and that is 2-14 to 2-7 now, 7 in it as Sean Long takes the puck out. They've got an extra man back there, and that's where they're playing him as Thomas Grimes looks to take this away from Johnny Murray, back to Sean Long off his right, across the field to William O'Donoghue, worked out beautifully by Thomas Grimes, and it's Emmett McAvoy. Some of the short passing here by the Piarsaigh has been really crisp as McAvoy favours the shot with the breeze, and it goes to Adrian Breen across the goal, and he was trying to find Wayne Kearns, who drifted in, but his puck was a little bit too high, and it's Cian Fitzgerald playing it back to Jason Gallan, and Gallan just opting to open the shoulders and put it down the far side of the field, but not sure there's a Patrickswell body there, and it's sideline, and it's Emmett McAvoy back into Sean Long as Patrickswell look to come forward here, as it's na Piarsaigh who again lofting that up in the air. This is a real testing ball in there, and it's Adrian Breen who has it, and it's gone over the crossbar, and that, well, that could have been in the back of the net. That was a real testing, probing ball into that inside line, and Adrian Breen a little bit lower, and I think Jason Gallan may not have been able to do much more about that as we watch the replay, and it just rose above that crossbar as it was going in, as the puck out comes down this near side. Mark Carmody underneath it, but it breaks behind him, and Michael Casey hoovers it up to Dahi Dempsey, drops to Hurley. Could be a free. No, it's not, says the referee. Can't drop a Hurley in possession, but Donegal Callan says play on. It's to William O'Donoghue, to Thomas Grimes with the breeze at his back, and he swings it up in the air, but he hits it only to the right hand side and wide. So wide number 7 now for na Piarsaigh, as Jason Gallan looks to puck this one out the field and get us back going again. Remember, both sides have their fate decided in this championship. Na Piarsaigh very much looking forward to a county semi-final. The big matches are elsewhere today. Patrickswell, of course, playing only for a little bit of pride. No win in this year's championship so far, and could they get something here, or can they do something here in the next 25 minutes to change that? And they will operate in the next tier of the Limerick Senior Championship in 2026, as you know, they've been riddled by injuries. It's been a really tough campaign for them. The loss of Aaron Gallan early in the championship, and indeed the loss of Cian Lynch as well later, has really affected their chances, as Dylan Lynch has puts this one in. And you know, for his first today, he's got 2-5 in this championship, Dylan Lynch, and make that 2-6 now, as the na Piarsaigh youngster who had a fine county final last year as well after coming on, comes in, gets his first score. Dahi Dempsey being replaced, being withdrawn, and it's the experience of Kevin Downs that is coming in to replace him. Fine game did Dahi have, and well, an influential player, scoring a point in that first half, but being involved in so much, particularly in those opening goals for na Piarsaigh in the opening 10 minutes of this game, and Dahi was central to those. As we said, a player with huge experience. We go on to Liam Fitzgerald, a man at the other end of his career. I can tell you he's a budding youngster that we will see more of in the Patrickswell jersey in times to come. One of two brother, a brother on the team as well. Of course, his brother Cian is wearing number 9 as we watch na Piarsaigh hit it in. And this is Will Hen here trying to get inside, playing it to Adrian Breen. Chance for Breen to get his strike away, and Breen puts it in and puts it over the crossbar. And that's his second score of this second half, is Adrian Breen. And just shove out a little bit more. This is Kevin Downs. Actually thought the ball had been called back, but no, win by Kevin Downs. Tommy Grimes trying to get it up, gets it at second of attempt off to Kevin Downs into William O'Donoghue, and right in front of Adrian Breen, and he fancies something a bit different, but he decides upon putting this one over the crossbar. And well, that kind of feeding ball in there is going to put any corner back under pressure, let me tell you that. And it's, well, Adrian Breen in the form of his life at the moment. And, you know, what can you do there if you're Kelvin Lynch at the moment? Only try your best to keep him outside you, and he's doing all of that. And that's a real good play from Patrickswell to Dermot Burns, breaking to the 65. But bodies have come back, and that's Wayne Kearns challenging with Peter Casey. And it's now JJ Carey in there with Hughie Maher. And it's JJ Carey who looks to move forward. And the Piarsaigh are on the front foot now, and it's trying to find that left corner forward position in Adrian Breen, but it's William Henn who's there at the moment. He's got past Nigel Foley, who may not have a lot of options. No, he doesn't. And well, you felt that if he was gone past there, that was going to be another great chance of a green flag for the Piarsaigh. And the fullback did not have an awful lot of other options as Dunico O'Callaghan walks in. Is he going to talk to Nigel Foley in this regard? He's calling him over. So again, maybe he's just telling him, hey, next one and you're in real trouble here. Patrickswell, as we can see at the top left hand corner of our screen, are operating with a man down as Will Henn, whose jersey got fairly muddy in that last play. Nonchalantly puts this one in and puts it over the crossbar. And really, what a great combination Henn and Adrian Breen are in there at the moment for the Piarsaigh. Two really good forwards in great form. Kevin Downs here on our left, he's the man that makes up that trio normally in that inside line, and he is one of the top scorers in this year's championship. But he is not going to go in that close so far. We see Calvin Carroll coming on here. So Calvin Carroll wearing number 18, heading to the full forward position, and it's going to be Shawnee O'Brien who is coming out here instead of him. So that is 18. We see Calvin Carroll, a replacement for Patrickswell as this ball goes long and trying to find Burns, who looks like he's switched to midfield now. He's definitely more advanced as Michael Casey has time to drop and pick, and it's with William O'Donoghue opening his shoulders and trying to find that inside line, and it's broken into their most potent man, off to Peter Casey. Casey's broken the first challenge. He's at an angle. He'll go low. Good save by Galan. It goes high and it's gone out over the in-line. So good save by Jason Galan from the stick of Peter Casey. The angle was tight. Casey went to ground, but so did Galan, and he got enough on it that it went out over the line. But it's going to be not a 65, it's actually going to be a free in, as Peter Casey adjudged to have been fouled as he was coming in, and it's going to be another chance for Will Henn to put the Piarsaig's tally for the day onto 20. As the breeze is coming, I don't think rain is too far away. Will Henn is going to strike it, and Henn strikes that to the left hand side and wide. I just had to look at it again because I felt that it was gone in, but it just slipped itself out to that left post, and he'll be disappointed with that. That's his first one, and this is James Finn on the field of play. So James Finn is in now, and we're looking to see just who might have stepped out. Bit of reorganising going on in the Piarsaigh rear guard, and I'm looking there to see who might have stepped off, and it is JJ Carey at the far side of the field, so he will make his way around. Carey had a fine game, I can tell you. He will be happy enough with his outing, and so too will his management here in front of him as this one comes, and it's going to go into the hand of the new man in. There it is, James Finn to Peter Casey. Good tackle there from Johnny Murray as Patrickswell win the ball back, and that's a shot, but it's neither a shot nor a pass because it's gone harmlessly to the left and wide, and that's Patrickswell's 7th wide as we await the puck out to come, as it's with Mike Foley. Definitely one of the higher possessions in the Piarsaigh today, as Johnny Murray stands up well to that, and Murray has done really well. And you know, there is a few shining lights this afternoon, or few bright lights or sparks here, but one of those is Johnny Murray, I can tell you that. He's got on fine here at midfield, and he is somebody who is definitely a player for the future. For the men in green and gold, of course, Patrickswell famed, having the most county titles in Limerick, having 20, followed closely by a hand, and of course the Piarsaigh, who have made their mark in the Limerick Championship in the last 20 years, coming along in 2009 to play their first final and winning in 2011 as we watched Dermot Burns put this over the bar. And that's a fine score from Burns, but you know, bemoaning the fact that, or talking about the fact, I should say, that the Piarsaigh have really, been a prominent and dominant force in Limerick hurling in the last 15 to 20 years, and produced so many great players for Limerick as well, and of course central to that team, 5-in-a-row team as well, that Limerick have been so good and so prominent with. As we watch number 18, Dylan Lynch, going in and putting that ball over the bar. And Dylan Lynch has added to his tally for the day, and that's a fine score from Dylan Lynch. And he's come into his own here in the second half as Jason Gallan surveys his options for the puck out. He goes short, far side of the field, and that's Hughie Maher trying to play it in, and it's Evan Fitzgerald as the ball breaks away, and that spare man, well, that's not a sweeper, that's the extra man that the Piarsaigh have, as the ball goes inside from William O'Donoghue, and it's touching on the ground, and it's broken away to Adrian Breen, back to Dylan Lynch, comes way back the field to Michael Casey. A lot of options here, a lot of space and time. Good work from John Murray there, or indeed from Owen Harmon, I should say. John Murray and Owen Harmon, both in white helmets. Back now to Dermot Burns, who's definitely in that rear guard at the moment, trying to play it up top to Calvin Carroll, but Jerome Boylan is doing well, and he's getting there front. He's gone over it, and it's Calvin now who has it, and he's on the ground, and what way is that going to break? Donegal Callahan says the last man to touch it was a man in a blue and gold jersey, and it's going to be Emmett McAvoy, and well, it's intercepted by Calvin Carroll. And it's with Calvin again now, or is that Mark Carmody? It is Mark trying to make his way forward. Lots of hurleys flailing there, but referee has eventually given Mark the benefit of the doubt and given him a free. Carmody hits it on his left, and that's a fine score from Mark Carmody. And, a solo effort. They are numerically disadvantaged up there. And Mark Carmody goes in and puts it over the bar. The man affectionately known as Cam out in Patrickswell. As Johnny Murray presses, or tries to press Tommy Grimes, as Grimes opens up the shoulders, again swinging it along. Well done by Kelvin Lynch, just breaks it away, and it's Hughie Maher deciding to go back to Jason Gallan, and Gallan coming across here to playing onto Cian Fitz now, as Cian moves out the field just short of the 45, off to Dermot Burns in the middle, and Burns steps back, lovely step from him, and he plays it back to Cian Fitzgerald, or to Evan Fitzgerald, and Evan finds his range, and that has been one of the moves of the game, and that is Evan Fitzgerald getting his second score of the game. And Evan Fitzgerald bringing Patrickswell's tally onto 2 goals and 10 here, as Kevin Downs looks to gather possession and get attack moving forward. And again, it's that far right corner they're looking to find, and it's Will Hinn out in front. Good challenge there by Hughie Maher, loads of pressure, and the free, however, has been given to na Piarsaigh. And Donegal Callan had judged that there was a frontal charge on Will Hinn by Hughie Maher, and that's going to be a chance for Will Hinn now to again wipe out that last score from Evan Fitz. Will Hinn will shove na Piarsaigh further ahead, you would imagine. Top of the D there, and we await the next piece of action as we approach the last 13 minutes of play here in the Piarsaigh, and it's struck over by Will Hinn, and that is 2 goals and 21 now, plays 2 goals and 10 as the Caherdavin men in full control, and they have been for quite some time in this game. And the manless has not helped the cause of Patrickswell in this game, unfortunately. But, if you're an Piarsaigh fan, you'll be very happy. And here's James Finn moving forward. Jordan Higgins putting him under pressure, being followed by Cian Fitzgerald as the ball is swung in by Kevin Downs, but it's gone to the right-hand side and wide, and that's wide number 8 for Piarsaigh. 3 weeks to a county semi-final. For Patrickswell, this is their last involvement in the 2025 Whitebox Limerick Senior Hurling Championship. Jason Gallan looking to see where he can put it. Where is the loose man? And it's Tommy Grimes that's operating as that man at the moment, I can tell you, and it's down on top of Liam Fitz, and he's battling hard, and he's there with Evan Fitz, but it's Wayne Kearns who has it to William O'Donoghue. Tommy Grimes is off the shoulder, and it's Grimes who gets it. Grimes swinging it up the field, but well placed by Hughie Maher. This is a good ball back out to it was James Carrick, I should say. Now it's Hughie Maher. Was he fouled in the process? Play on, says the referee, to Will Hinn, just inside the 60 65, he strikes it, it drops, but it drops to the right, left-hand side and wide, and 9 for the Piarsaigh now. They won't be too worried about that. As Jason Gallan gets this going quickly again. And it's with Kelvin Lynch coming out the field. He'll look to try and get it to the top line if he can. It's to Dermot Burns. They need to go a little bit higher because that breeze is against him. But it's down into that channel. Cian Fitz is favoured here, but Kevin Downs is back there. Good challenge by Downsy as the ball goes out over the line. And Owen Grimes, the Piarsaigh man, carrying the white flag, the sideline flag, signals that Liam Fitzgerald is going to have a chance to cut one. Cut one well a while ago as well, let me tell you. Watching the Piarsaigh subs in front of him, and Liam Fitzgerald cuts this really well. That's a probing ball, it goes in. But well dealt with by Evan Condon in there. So it was a real drop in. That could have been more than just a chance. It could have been a goal as it went right in, but well dealt with, and it looked like Tommy Grimes that came through and pucked it away. And it's going to be another substitute for the Piarsaigh. That looks like Mark Hogan that coming on. So Mark Hogan coming on the field of play for the Piarsaigh seniors. And we're looking maybe at Will Hen that is coming out. Just waiting for the final who's coming off the field here. We'll see it in a minute. Instructions being made by Tomas Downs in there, of course, coach and former player with Piarsaigh for many years. Coach of this present team as we're back with play, and it's Dermot Burns who's going to take this 65. So Will Hen had distance in the first half. Burns has got a fair puck of a ball, so he should have distance, and he hits it really well, but unfortunately the accuracy means that it's just slipped out to that right hand side and wide. Wide number 8 now for Patrickswell, and we still play an 11-point game as the puck out goes short, and not for the first time. It goes to Jerome Boylan, and it's back into the middle here, and it's Mike Foley who's looking to come away. Foley is pucking this ball into that top corner, and they've really tried to manipulate that, and it's only Dylan Lynch that's there, but that is a Patrickswell man who's back, and back doing well. That's James Carrick, I can tell you from his familiar frame, finding Dermot Burns, who's hit an awful lot of ball today, I can tell you, as the ball is touched. Oh, and I thought that was definitely a free, as ball goes back inside from the inside, and I definitely felt this touch was on Dermot Burns' helmet in that regard. We can see it in the replay. Shot came in from the Piarsaigh, but it went left and wide for their 10th wide of the game, as we're back with play, and it's Jason Gallan who is hitting it short and then hitting it back up in the field, and this is Hughie Maher coming on. Is there a free? It's Dermot Burns who takes possession. Free has been given by Donico O'Callaghan. So Dermot Burns is going to take this free. Game has really petered out from a point of view of it being anyway competitive. So we have Dermot Burns to play. We need to be thinking about our man of the match. We're coming to that part of the game. So we look at Ronan Lynch coming onto the field of play, and it's going to be Ronan who's going to come in here for the last 7 or 8 minutes of the game, as we watch Dermot Burns hit it in and over the crossbar. Fine score from Dermot Burns, and a long range free brings his tally up in the game as well, and it brings it back to a 10-point game as we watch the Piarsaigh build from the back. And here's the aforementioned Lynch just on the field of play with Mike Foley up in the middle of the field, long in on top of Adrian Breen, well handled by Breen, off over his left shoulder. It goes in and it goes over the crossbar, and Adrian Breen has been on fire today. One of the highlights of the game has been his performance and the way he has absolutely burned it up every time it has gone in there. And Patrickswell goes short with Jason Gallan, and it's back to him again as he comes up the field. He's trying to secure possession to another blue and gold jersey, and that's what he does. And it's Cian Fitz who's decided to take this one on, and Fitz strikes it in, and he strikes it to the left hand side and wide, and that's wide 9 for Patrickswell. Puck out coming. Again, it's fast, even though you probably expected not to be at this stage. And the Piarsaigh do want to try and work a score, and it's gone out over off the feet of Dylan Lynch, and it's gone out over the sideline, but it's back into play quickly. This is Evan Fitzgerald, who's moving forward to Liam Fitzgerald, no relation. Back to Dermot Burns, who's been trying to carry the show forward for Patrickswell today. To Mark Carmody, another man who's done really well, and he's fouled by James Finn. And, well, we can say that Dermot Burns hasn't given his all here. He bloody well has, I can tell you. And he's really tried to lead the line there with younger players around him. And, you know, it's been a difficult afternoon. There's no doubt about it as we approach the last 5 minutes here. But this man, recently married, has played quite a significant role in Patrickswell's performance today. It's with him, and it's with his strike, and it goes in and it goes over the crossbar. And again on the score sheet, he has contributed and contributed well in the second half as Patrickswell move on to 2 goals and 12. As we watch Ronan Lynch bring this ball out the field, and now he's going to launch it long in on top of the inside line. What's happening? It's broken away. Who can come onto it? It's Piarsaigh who are coming onto it, and that's Wayne Kearns pumping it out, but well anticipated by Jordan Higgins there. And the ball is won now as it's broken by Cian, but it's spilt away from him again. That's Cian Fitzgerald. 4 Piarsaigh bodies, but he somehow offloads it to Jordan. Cross the field. Calvin Carroll coming into picture now, but well won by Emmett McAvoy. And McAvoy moving away at pace, leaving the man in his wake as Emmett McAvoy hits for home and wants to put a white flag up, and he does get it. Seamus Hayes says there is no doubt about it. Emmett McAvoy from cornerback, a second half substitute on the Piarsaigh side, has grabbed his first score of the game, and I would actually wonder, is it his first score in the Limerick Championship? Well, possibly in the 2025 version. It's McAvoy again coming forward, this time trying to offload as the touch comes in to Dylan Lynch there, and that's going to be a free in to the Piarsaigh, and it's going to help extend their advantage as well as we play the last 4 minutes of the game. And well, we have to consider who may have been man of the match here, and well, there has been some significant performances, as we've said, in the last number of moments on both sides. But of course, you would have to say, with 1 goal and 7 points this afternoon from play, 1 goal and 7, it's Adrian Breen, who is one of the most prominent performers, not alone in this field, but in the Limerick Championship, and he hasn't left his side down today. So we are happy to talk about our man of the match for this afternoon, or Mike O'Connell's Menswear, 9 Catherine Street in Limerick, a fabulous men's clothes shop for anybody that's looking to attire themselves for the autumn season. Please give Mike and his staff every call on there in Catherine Street in Limerick. They've sponsored a beautiful €50 voucher here, and I can tell you Adrian Breen will be calling to you sometime too soon, Mike, as he is our man of the match in this afternoon's Whitebox Round 5 Senior Hurling Championship. With 1 goal and 7, he was definitely the most dangerous man on the pitch. We look at another score coming in from Will Hen. And well, he probably wasn't far away from it either, let me tell you. But it's gone to his teammate on the inside line beside him as he pushes Piarsaigh to 2 goals and 24 points. And a good win up here by Mark Carmody. And that's a great free to win as he looks to give Dermot Burns another chance to just shorten that scoreline a little bit. 12 points in it as we speak. Burns right in front of us here. He's about 8 feet away from where I'm standing. So we'll give him a time to concentrate as Patrickswell play the final moments of their 2025 championship. And Dermot Burns, a player of huge experience, gathers another score for his team, and he has led that charge. And we don't want to repeat ourselves too much, but he has definitely led that charge. And here's another man that's led the charge. It's Will Hen. Clips it in, and Will Hen gets it in and over the crossbar from the stick of Evan Condon. Found Will Hen in a little bit of space, and Hen drops it in and over the crossbar. carries na Piarsaigh to 25 points for the day as we play the last moments of this game. It's Patrickswell trying to come out. Jason Gallan off his right side, coming it out to Johnny Murray on this into this corner here, who's trying to race in. Good run by Nigel Foley to take the ball. Patrickswell just about breaking the 65. They've gone backwards a little bit now, but they've had to. And well done on Mark Carmody there as Carmody wins the free. And again, a coming together of players there, but it's all in good jest now. This game is petering itself out, and it has done for a while. So Mark Carmody and William O'Donoghue just tipping each other, but you know, nothing to see here. Let's move on as we put ourselves in the last minute of play, plus whatever our match official Donegal O'Callaghan will have to play here. And we see it go short, and it's with Owen Harmon off to Diarmuid Burns, ships a challenge from William Henn back to Burns from Johnny Murray. Burns looking to go low, but it strikes, it rises, and he puts it over the crossbar. And Diarmuid Burns again on that Patrickswell side. If we were looking for a man of the match, well, he certainly would be the leading contender, and that's a fine score from him. Looking maybe for a green flag, but content as the ball rose to go over the crossbar and at least go between the sticks. We're down the far side. Have we one opening, closing salvo from our man of the match? No, we haven't. It goes inside to Mark Hogan. Hogan shoots across the goal, but it goes to the right hand side and wide, getting the Piarsaig's 11th wide. He was looking for that top right hand corner of Jason Gallan's net as the ball is played between Casey and Mark Carmody, and it's James Finn who's repelled there by Johnny Murray across to Mike Foley. And this is where the Piarsaigh are really good, and it's Ronan Lynch, breeze at his back, lofts it up in the air. He carries the Piarsaigh to 26 points for the day. Does Ronan Lynch, the second half substitute. He gets himself on the score sheet. 2 goals and 26 now, plays 2 goals and 14. And again, space, time, and that's all you need if you're a team of quality that Piarsaigh have in terms of their technical skills and how they can move that ball. And well, we're going to play no more. It is the story of the game. Ends on 61 minutes here in Clohan. It is Patrickswell who bow out of this year's championship, and a scoreline of 2 goals and 14 to 2 goals and 26 to na Piarsaigh. We knew that there we have, and we just see pictures of both sets of managements coming together. Shane O'Neill and Tomas Downs on the Piarsaigh side, and Declan and Natal O'Grady on the Patrickswell side. We knew coming into today's game that the fate of both teams had been well settled. Na Piarsaigh sitting pretty, coming into a county semi-final in 3 weeks' time. Well, they will be happy with their performance. 2 goals and 26 for them, with 11 wide, so nearly 40 shots in all. And they looked and to control the game from the start, which they did. Playing against that breeze in that opening first half, they were buoyed by early goals from Peter Casey and Adrian Breen. Midway through the half, they were well in control. We were looking on 18 minutes where they were 2-2 to 2-7 ahead. Patrickswell replying with goals from Evan Fitzgerald and Liam Fitzgerald, but really by half time the big moment had happened. It was na Piarsaigh just on the stroke, leading 2 goals and 6 to 2 goals and 13, when Patrickswell had a man dismissed for a straight red card. It meant that the Wellmen would come into the second half without a full complement of players. It was 2-6 to 2-13 at half time, with opening scores in that half coming from Adrian Breen, top scorer, with a goal and 3 points. The second half was just as it was in the first. It was na Piarsaigh dominance, now aided by the breeze, that saw them reach home. It was Adrian Breen who clipped 4 second half points to push his tally to 1 goal and 7 for the day, to win him man of the match performance. Others to shine: points from Emmett McAvoy, points from Ronan Lynch, and Will Hinn from both place balls and from play, kept pushed na Piarsaig's score to 26 for the day. For Patrickswell, they tried hard, they battled hard, but they were numerically disadvantaged for the whole game. They can look to Diarmuid Burns as having a fine game here for them, and carrying their score through to try and win, to try and salvage some sort of pride for their performance for the day. It was the Patrickswell who finished on the losing side, and Diarmuid Burns without the services of a lot of key players for this 2025 campaign. They go down to na Piarsaigh, who will fancy themselves in the weeks ahead. They're in knockout hurling now as they go to a county semi-final in 3 weeks. From Clohan, and we will will be hoping to get some reaction from the Piarsaigh camp within a matter of moments. It is Piarsaigh, 2 goals and 26 points. Patrickswell, 2 goals and 14. Dermot Burns, but it's Cian Fitzgerald who runs away. He's got Burns, breeze at his back. He decides he wants to go. Range is not a problem. Will accuracy from Dempsey as he comes to the ground. Off to Will Hen. Space opening up in front of him. Hen racing through the heart of the defence. He's going. He's reaching the 21. There's real danger here as he pops it outside to Adrian Breen, and there's the first green flag of the evening. Grimes into the middle to Peter Casey. Space and time has Casey, and space Kelvin Lynch, and Breen is turning this way and that, and this time the man Condon coming up this near side of the field, and it's Will Hen who has drifted out. Good tackle from David Burns as he's been followed well by Mark Carmody. Offloaded to Mike Foley. Foley is deciding to put this in. This is Peter Casey in a bit of space. He's beaten the 21. Have we a goal chance? We have! Breen again who's on it. Chance for his third score of the day. Adrian Breen doesn't make it. As Dermot Burns looks to strike this one in and over the bar, and a Piarsaigh man, but he does really well, looking to work it across the field, and that he does, trying to find Sean O'Brien, and it's Sean Long who is chasing after him, and O'Brien is going to get there. Is there a free four coming? There is not, but O'Brien has broken the ground, has a chance to score. He touches it in. John Murray does enough, but it's Dahi Dempsey who picks up the pieces, and Dempsey has slipped it in. Good hand, and it's to his brother Liam getting John Murray onto it now. Recovers well. Murray trying to make ground, and he's got a free, but he's been played with advantage. JJ Carey is inside. This is Cian Fitz. Have we a goal on? We have a goal on. We've goal number 2. Trying to put it inside, getting Adrian Breen on. Have we a response? Breen on his right. Got the Piarsaigh and been one of their mainstays in their forwards over the last while. And Will Fins, but I would say sometime early in the second half as Will Hen non-turns, and it's back to him again. Chance to get on the score sheet, favouring on his right side as Liam Fitzgerald looks to take this and clip it in and put it, you know, when they start to run, they are a very, very formidable outfit, and as I tell you, as Hen looking to extend the and looking to keep his side in touch, and that's good from our vantage point. As it's off to Mike Foley on his favoured left. Foley gets it in and hits it. But Evan and Keane here, but they're no relation. That ball is pucked right in, and have we a lovely ball from William O'Donoghue. Foley's going to strike it in and strike it over the crossbar. Good ball out to Jordan Higgins. Higgins back into Mark Carmody. Beautiful touch from Carmody as we watch Dermot Burns swing it in at 6, and of course wearing number 5, and indeed it is a yellow card. But you know, the game has been played in a really good spirit as we watch Will Hen. Moment as the ball comes to cornerback Owen Harmon, but he's been swallowed up there by and that's just an extension, I would imagine, of the scoreline here in Claughaun. And 21, he's got 2 to his name. He's going to put it backwards, and it's Wayne looking for his second one of the day, and Kearns does 3, and not too far away. Will Hen on 5. As Dermot Burns hits this one, and yeah, we wait up in the air. This is a real testing ball in there, and it's Adrian Breen who has it, and it's gone over the crossbar. Cian Lynch as well later has really affected their chance, playing it to Adrian Breen. Chance for Breen to get his strike away, and Breen, William O'Donoghue, and right in front of Adrian Breen, and he fancies something a bit different, but he just down as Will Hen, whose jersey got fairly muddy in that last play. Sideline, and it's broken into their most potent man, off to Peter Casey. Casey's broken the first challenge. He's at an angle. He'll go low. Good save by Galan. Years coming along in 2009 to play their first final and winning team, 5-in-a-row team as well, that Limerick have been so good and so prominent with as we watch. But referee has eventually given Mark the benefit of the doubt and given him a free. Carmody hits it on his left, and that's a fine score from Mark Carmody. Burns steps back, lovely step from him, and he plays it back to Cian Fitzgerald, or to Evan Fitzgerald, and Evan finds his range. And 15 minutes of play here in the Piarsaigh, and it's struck over by Will Hen. It's going to be Ronan who's going to come in here for the last 7 or 8 minutes of the game as we watch Dermot Burns field. Long in on top of Adrian Breen, well handled by Breen, off over his quite a significant role in Patrickswell's performance today. It's with him and it's with his strike, and it goes leaving the man in his wake as Emmett McAvoy hit as Patrickswell play the final moments of their 2025 championship, and but he has definitely led that charge. And here's another man that's led the charge. It's Will Hain, clips it in to Burns from Johnny Murray. Burns looking to go low, but it strikes. Piarsaigh got really good, and it's Ronan Lynch, breeze at his back, lofts it up in the air. Listen how they can move that ball. And well, we're going to play no more. It is the story of the game. Ends on 61 minutes here in Clohan. It is Patrickswell who bow out of this year's championship, and a scoreline of 2 goals and 14 to 2 goals and 26 to Piarsaigh. We knew that the and you're very welcome back to Clohan here, where we've gathered the man of the match on the Piarsaigh side, Adrian Breen, a goal and 7 today. I must say you must be very pleased with that performance, both team-wise and personally.
Yeah, absolutely. We came here with a job to do today against, a Patrickswell side that we knew stepping into the game. They were moving down to the second group, but that's a very proud club with a lot of titles on the Roll of Honour. We knew they were going to, fight for the pride of that club. They came out here fighting and swinging. They gave everything they had, but we just kind of stuck to our task and got over the line.
The early scores in that first half, even against the breeze, really set you on your way. A fabulous goal in the opening moments.
Yeah, I think that kind of settled us down a bit. Sometimes when you're playing against the wind like that, you actually have a bit more space inside because the team kind of gets sucked down the pitch with the wind, and we were able to just, I suppose, stay disciplined in holding that space and open up a bit of ground there and create enough room for the goal.
I know a number of changes today, probably giving other players a bit of a run out, but this looks like a very full-handed Piarsaigh team without any major injuries to worry about.
Yeah, at the start of the year, we had a pretty long injury list, and we've been able to get some of those key players back, and you can see the likes of Peter Casey coming in there today and just straight back into his usual form. So that's a huge plus for the team, and I would say those lads that people might look in and say, oh, they're getting a run, I can tell you they're serious candidates for jerseys as well. They're putting up the hand every night in training, and that's the sign of a healthy squad.
Looking at the next number of weeks, of course, 3 weeks to a semi-final, you're at where you need to be at the business end of this Limerick Championship again.
Yeah, absolutely. I suppose 3 weeks now until we play our semi-final. We have the luxury, I suppose, of not having to line out in a quarter next weekend. Some people would see that as a big plus, that you get a bit of a rest. Others would say, wouldn't it be nice to be match sharp? But listen, we'll stick to our task. I'm sure the management and backroom team have a plan laid out for those 3 weeks, and we'll just have to put 100% into what we're doing on the training pitch, and we'll come ready for 3 weeks' time.
How does that loss in that final last year, a very good final, county final between Doon and yourselves, really decided in the final moments? How does that sit with you to motivate you for the coming campaign, and obviously again for the next number of weeks?
Yeah, that is a sore point. There's no two ways about it. Any team that loses the county final by a point, it's going to leave a bit of a scar. That Doon team, I think the last 3 times we played them, the best we've done is a draw. So, they probably have the upper hand on the most recent head-to-heads there. It is a driver for us, but to be honest, we're probably not looking externally for motivation. We're looking internally at the standards we have as a team. Those young fellas, as you said, that are in today and pressing for jerseys, that's really what's in your face every day of the week when you're training. So that's the primary driver for us. We want to maintain our own standards. If that takes us, deep into the competition, that's what we're after. Well,
you have plenty to look forward to over the next 3 weeks. You spoke about standards. Your own were exceptionally high today. Adrian Breen, you are our man of the match, and we have a beautiful voucher from Mike O'Connell's menswear in Catherine Street in Limerick. Thanks, Mike, and all his staff. Adrian, make sure it's a good purchase, whatever it is.
Thanks a million, Joe.
Thanks, Adrian. Very best of luck to you.
Good man, cheers.
Thanks very much to everybody for tuning in to us this afternoon. It is Piarsaigh who march on with good steam from Clohan into a county semi-final in 3 weeks' time.